One of the most common things that I've heard growing up throughout my entire life is that I should do this or I should do that or this, that, and the other, right? Which is unsolicited advice. I didn't know that it was until the past, I'd say, few years now. Before, I thought that everything that everyone was telling me that I should do was what I should do. So, what's interesting is that every time that I was told that I should do something, by the way, I was told that I should do like many different things. I would actually start to go in that direction, even if it was something that I didn't want to do, simply because I thought that I had to do it. The more that I've learned about unsolicited advice, the more I've learned that people that give unsolicited advice are really just meant to take their own advice, and they don't. They're just projecting, right? And so the thing that sucks about this is that all of the unsolicited advice that I've taken in from people have actually caused a serious fucking amount of confusion and distraction in my life. The more I heal and the more I receive unsolicited advice and know it for what it is, the more I'm just like, ugh, yuck, it's gross, it's fucking disgusting. But I've taken on a lot of that bullshit for a long fucking time. Now, the challenging thing with unsolicited advice, not only is it a fucking boundary violation, I'm gonna call it for what it is, it's a fucking boundary violation. The other thing about unsolicited advice is that it causes a lot of confusion for people, right? Because for those that don't really know themselves well enough, it's like, say for instance, like somebody gives you a gift, but it's not a gift, right? You should do this. Oh, what is this? Oh shit, well I don't know myself well enough, so I'm just gonna do it because you probably know me better than I know myself somehow, right? So it causes a lot of confusion. And the theme here is really when you don't know what you want in life, as a result, of course, of unsolicited advice. When you don't know yourself well enough, when your frame is not strong enough, right? When you haven't looked at yourself enough, you're not going to know yourself well enough. And therefore, if you don't know yourself well enough, if you don't know what it is that you like, dislike, want, and need, all of that stuff, if you've not taken enough time to get familiar with yourself, and I have plenty of experience with this, I literally spent like 3 decades just like unsolicited advice, unsolicited advice, unsolicited advice, unsolicited over and over again. And not only that, the other thing that I learned, which really fucked me up, is to pick one thing and stick with it. No, motherfuckers, I'm not gonna do that. People can do whatever the fuck they want to. But I'm just not the type of person, I'm not the type of dude to just pick one thing and stick with it. I'm somebody who likes to, and by the way, I really don't believe in like, oh, then you're just a jack of all trades. No. I'm a fucking master of many. It's not about what you do or how much you do. It's about the enjoyment of what you do, right? If you like it, great. Do it. If you don't, great. Don't do it. So, when you don't know what you want in life, and this is what I realized about myself. I realized that for the longest time, I thought that I didn't know what I wanted in life. But then I realized that I thought I didn't know what I wanted in life because, one, I actually thought what I wanted to do, I wasn't really allowed to do. Like, all right, we're in a very interesting era, right? Social media, all of this stuff, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want now, right? Decades ago, things were a lot different, right? The internet wasn't even around decades ago, right? Now, things have changed drastically. So, whenever the older generations, which we usually hear it from, whenever the older generations tell us that we can't do something, it's usually because they're not familiar enough with it to understand the fucking gravity of the situation. And I've had many older generation people tell me that it's just not feasible, that I just can't do it. And especially to pick one fucking thing and stick with it. Listen, in 2024 and beyond, and it's already been relevant in this year, in 2024 and beyond, you literally can't do just one thing. like, even if you wanted to, I mean, you could, depending on how successful you can be with it, you could, of course. So I'm not going to say you can't. But what I'm talking about more so is multiple streams of income. That's really what the theme here is. Because if you just have one stream of income and that shit collapses, you're fucking done, right? But let me get back to the theme of this video, which is when you don't know what you want in life. In my own experiences, I've had a lot of people project their own insecurities, their own ideas of how a fucking person should be, what they should do, what they should go after. I've had a lot of, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, that, and the other, you should do that. Right? It just becomes too much. And that was very distracting for me growing up. I heard a lot of people telling me that I should do this or I should do that, or I shouldn't do this and I shouldn't do that. Man, the worst fucking thing is when you're doing something that you actually want to do and people are like, you shouldn't do that. It's not going to get you anything. You shouldn't. Just, no. And those motherfuckers are dream killers because that's how they feel about themselves, because they're fucking terrified of going after what they really want to, so they're just going to kill your dreams. When you don't know what you want in life, it's likely because you've been distracted by a lot of people telling you what you should and shouldn't do, which again is unsolicited advice, issue of boundaries. Motherfuckers, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Back off, right? And it leads to a lot of confusion. It leads to a lot of distraction because everyone can do whatever they want to do. That's just the reality of it, right? Of course, it's important to understand what it means if you choose this or that path, or multiple paths, of course, but I have a lot of experience. I have years, at least a decade, under my belt of not really knowing what it is that I want in life. And after I've traced everything back to the core of it, I've looked at the people that have been in my life, that I've been surrounded by, and I've realized, oh, shit, okay, so these people have just all of this time projected how they feel about themselves onto me, and because I didn't know what that meant at the time, I took it on as my own, and I allowed it to infiltrate my life and confuse the fuck out of me and ultimately lead to a shit ton of distraction. And what happens when we're distracted? Well, we're distracted. We don't do the things that we actually want to do, right? So when you're distracted by unsolicited advice of people telling you things that you should do, that it's really just them telling you what they should do for themselves. That's what projections are. It's really easy to get confused and distracted and be like, oh, I should be a lawyer. I should be a doctor. I should be this, but that's really boring. Oh, but it'll make me a lot of money? Okay, I guess I'll do that then. Shit. Years into the pursuing of that, this is really fucking boring. I don't like, yeah, it's gonna take some time to, be fulfilled. No. No. Following what it is that you really like in life and recognizing that boundary is what I've noticed is necessary, because people can tell you what they think you should do all they fucking want, but if you don't want it, then why would you do it? Oh, for the validation and approval? Yeah, I've been there. Oh, for the safety? Yeah, I've been there. No. Listen, things that we were taught are safe are questionable now. All of that safety of the, oh, get a safe job, 401k. No. By the way, this is not financial advice. It's just really a matter of being distracted by what everyone else tells you that they think you should do, and recognizing that that's their shit, not yours, and setting that boundary and being like, No, you know? When you don't know what you want in life, it's likely because you've heard a lot of other people tell you what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing,